using the same route for approximately 20 minutes out of the whole run.
So what are your predictions? Who do you think is going to win?
I hate to say it because John's a really good friend of mine, but I think Scotty's going to win this one. He's too good.
Well, I think John could win. For those of you who don't know, Scotty has been blazing through the leaderboards here for not just Zero Mission, but other 2D Metroid games, not including Super Metroid. I believe he has very little interest in Super Metroid, but for the rest, he's definitely an all-star, and 100% is no exception. Scotty is the world record holder. However, in Scotty's tournament history, he has been known to mess up in certain races. I don't know if it's the adrenaline, the anxiety, or what, but Scotty does have that small issue, whereas John has been known to be very consistent regardless of its whether or not it's a race or just a regular run. So I feel like John could win here.
Scotty's having some troubles. Something I should note, by the way, Scotty's playing on emulator and not on console right now because his L button's broken on console, so that could affect things too.
Yeah, Scotty, originally an emulator player, switched to console, and now playing on emulator, whereas John is 100% an emulator player. We'll see some attempts at doubles here. John gets it. Very nice. And both runners get it. John having the slight time save there. Getting doubles on the first round is a bit faster than the second round. Both runners opting to get that early charge. It was found a few months ago that early charge, in fact, saves not just, well, it saves a little bit of time, but the most important thing is the making the further rooms a little bit simpler with that charge beam, and having max regular missiles always, versus trying your luck at RNG with missile drops.
Yeah, so the simple thing to say is that it adds a lot of consistency to the early game.
Right.
And everybody in the Zero Mission community can tell you the early game is very difficult and not very consistent sometimes.
Right, it is definitely, especially in the high room, it's definitely a pain when you don't have that max missile count. John taking a dip in the acid there, managed to recover. I don't know if John actually does late Brinstar here, so he'll definitely need that full health. Dipping in the acid there might not be good for him, unless he decides to refill at bombs.
Yeah, he's not going to heal. He's told me already that he's going to go all out for this race and, just try to... coming up, you're going to see a route difference. Scotty goes for early Brinstar. He's going to go clean up the top of Brinstar here. And John's going to avoid it until he has more items to make it easier. Early Brinstar is a lot more difficult, but it adds more consistency since you're getting a lot of missiles early on.
And you get extra health too.
Yeah, that too. But the extra health isn't going to end up mattering because of route differences they make later on.
Okay. So John a little bit lucky there. He took enough hits to take a small health and fill up, so in which case he did. So hopefully he'll get more missiles here as Scotty ignores those zoomers, as it is not needed to farm for early Brinstar.
Scotty passed the first worrisome part of this route.
I think if it wasn't for this cutscene here, early Brinstar would definitely be the faster route.
Yeah, it absolutely would. For randomizers, you should always go early Brinstar. There's no reason not to. So they remove the cutscene in randomizers. What was Scotty going back there for?
I think he meant to jump left and went right instead. John getting a lucky missile drop there.
Ideally, John gets one more missile pack. Yeah, there he is. So he's going to be fine on missile.
So, in my opinion, between the two runners, I think this is going to be a race of consistency. Both runners need to realize, if they're watching, if one makes a mistake, that they capitalize on that and try not to make the same mistake. Scotty does have a better PB. I believe it's about a 40-second difference. I'm not sure. I'm guessing.
It's 35 seconds, I think.
Okay, yeah. So John definitely has the ability to win this race, given he plays his A game and hopes that Scotty messes up a little bit.
Yeah, and sometimes Scotty's runs are just like completely miserable. Could happen.
Absolutely. So I just hope that both runners here play at their best. John getting double missile drop, very, very lucky. He'll have a lot of missiles at the end of Acid Worm.
Yeah, Scotty got through all the difficult parts easily, so early Brinstar is just a better route if you get everything on your first try, and Scotty managed it really well. Then, as I say that, he makes a mistake.
All right, John activates the zipline, and he'll be on his way to the Acid Worm fight. He has 34 missiles, which is 4 over the minimum. But that's not the concern. The concern is to have 10 missiles after defeating Acid Worm. Nice clean fight. Unfortunately, only gets... Okay, he does have enough. Actually, that was a double missile. It looked like one, but there was another one under it. So he has exactly the amount of missiles that he needs for the giant side hoppers. Meanwhile, Scotty is now entering Kraid, about 2 minutes behind, but that's because he did the early Brinstar, and that route will come back in Turian, where we will see who's actually ahead.
Yeah. We'll probably take a note of their times exiting Kraid to see how who's in the lead. I think John's in the lead right now, though.
Yeah, John's been executing very well, and he's been getting lucky with those missile drops too. So he has no reason to slow down for any ammo. So the worst, at least for now, the worst is behind John. Oh, Scotty having difficulty with his diagonal bomb jump. Can he get through before the block respawns? And he does. John finishing off the giant side hoppers with 0 missiles left. It will be a little bit inconvenient for him in Boring Room, as he's not able to kill all 3 side hoppers.
Yeah, there are some patterns where it's pretty obnoxious not to be able to kill all 3. Oh, this one didn't matter. That was a really nice run.
Yeah, and you get the nice D-boost too. Very nice pattern there.
Yeah, real nice by John.
As Scotty finishes off Acid Worm. He doesn't have enough ammo, which is kind of rare for early Brinstar.
Yeah, it's because he used a few missiles earlier on that you don't really need to use, so he took a little bit of a risk to save some time.
Oh, I heard the bounce. That must have been just bad luck on that refill glitch.
Yeah, John will be upset about that. He hates missing refill glitch.
It's pretty annoying sometimes. You hear the bounce, but it still doesn't go off. It kind of can get frustrating. So upcoming for John is the crate fight, which John is notorious for being not the best at. However, he has mentioned that his crate fights have improved. So, oh, and he takes a dip. It's okay, good backup.
Yeah, John is not the most consistent crate. The other day, he got a 4-round.
Oh, no. All right. You can blink. This fight is not fast enough. Unlike in any percent. So John does get the 2-round. Very nicely done. And he'll be rewarded with Speed Booster as Scotty makes his way into the depths of Kraid on his way to Boring Room.
Yeah, Scotty didn't get quite as good of a pattern as John did.
Although I would say, regardless of the patterns that you get for the side hoppers, if you kill all 3, then there's no chance of you getting knocked off the zipline by an unfortunate.
Yeah, that has happened to all of us, I think.
Yeah, it's extremely rare, but when it does, it is so aggravating. The giant side hopper could jump onto that platform where Samus is standing and knock you off the zipline as you're rolling or zipping through.
On another note, Scotty there with the refill glitch, that earlier room was really weird, though. He messed it up really weird.
And John, we make it out of Kraid in 12:24. So Scotty needs to get out of Kraid at 14:24 or better if he's going to be ahead of John, which I don't think is the case here.
Yeah, so now we're on our way to power grip and stuff. It's pretty typical. Not a whole lot happens here.
Scotty with a very, very clean Kraid fight. Tink's only 2 missiles, I think. Scotty is one of the only runners, actually, who conserves ammo during Kraid, whereas the rest of us just spam missiles into his mouth.
I mean, it doesn't really matter if you conserve missiles in this category, really.
Right.
It's probably a little more important for late Brinstar, but it's a non-issue.
I do think that Scotty does that so that he has a chance at skipping a refill at some point.
Both of them are going to skip the refill. It's fine. But yeah, both. It's the Norfer refill skip.
John getting the charge spark.
Yeah, I think Scotty playing on emulator is affecting him a little. He's missing things he doesn't usually miss.
So we have confirmed that Scotty's in fact behind John. By about 7 seconds. So it's still a very close race.
So John's going to be going for the criteria JBJ pretty soon. I hope he gets. Could be pretty costly if he fails it.
Hopefully he doesn't. It does save 5 seconds. However, failing it will lose you, what is it, 2 or 3 seconds?
Depends on how you fail it. If you fail it the normal way, it saves 3.5 seconds. So if you get the backup, it's only 3.5. But if you fail it really badly, yeah, you can lose it up to like 10 seconds. So
yeah, I know that in Fusion, Metroid Fusion, having to recharge a spark at any time always costs you 10 seconds. But fortunately, he does get it first try, so very nice job. It is a very difficult trick.
Raphael, if Scotty misses things that he doesn't normally miss, he would skip the map.
Oh, John drops his double IBJ, and I'll have to back up here with the wall jumps.
I think emulator adds a frame of lag, and that might be why Scotty is having a few small issues.
Yeah, it's definitely annoying having to switch between console and emulator, especially during a race when you're so used to console. That extra frame could definitely mess you up. But let me ask you this question, Sam. Do you think John will hear any of Scotty's excuses if John wins?
John isn't going to care. He's just going to gloat about it. Honestly. So take note, guys. John is going to be going down to collect these super missiles right away. And this route is designed around getting through a heated room later. That's going to let him skip a heal. With late Brinstar, you can't skip the heal otherwise. Sky's not going to choose to do this route, but this is John's preferred route.
And Scotty also getting the criteria JBJ. Oh, and he drops the speed booster.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get a jump there, but he instead got a spark, so it's a little weird.
That's going to put Scotty further behind. That looks like a 10-second time loss there.
Yeah, it's. I don't know about 10 seconds, but it is pretty big, yeah.
Meanwhile, John is playing very well. A few minor mistakes here or there, but still looking really, really clean.
Ooh, okay. He is not getting these bomb jumps, so I hope he heals here. So John likes to go all out and skip the heal, but his health situation is not the greatest right now.
I think he has barely enough. He's getting that super as if he's gonna skip the refill.
Yeah, it looks like he will. Oh, he's getting a good pound here. Okay, he'll be fine. Thankfully, that was a really sick pound.
I think the minimum is 160 something for that last heated room.
Yeah, it's pretty sketchy though. But
he will need more health though for the final heated room just before the caterpillars.
Okay, that was really good. You got the supers quickly at least.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god!
I don't think he's gonna make it out of that heated room if he goes through. He's stopping the farm here, which is very, 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 very good heads-up play.
Let's hope he survives, man. I'm a little worried here.
He cannot make any mistake. Even the slightest one will kill him.
The first part looks good, and he got a small health drop. I think he makes it.
Oh, it's so close. He's not out of the woods yet. He needs a minimum of 45 health to get through the last heated room. Now the giant side hopper can kill him if he's not careful with his screw attack. Very nice.
Oh no, no health.
Yeah, still not out of the woods here. He'll need a large health from that giant side hopper to have barely enough health to get out of the last heated room. That is so. He's gonna leave the last heated room with 1 HP. Now, will he get the damage tick during the door transition though? It's.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Give
It's
me
so
a heart attack, you. Okay, he's out of the woods now. Oh my god.
John must be sweating right now.
Yeah, and not only did was that very scary, but it also cost him a lot of time.
It did, definitely.
So
Monkey did mention in the chat that refilling might have been faster at that point.
yeah, because of the mistakes he made, refilling would have been faster, but he would have been fine had he not gotten clipped by that enemy like 12 times.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it looks like Scotty has had a pretty good run so far here, and he should not have any problems with the heal glitch, skipping the heal. Yeah, his health is great.
Scotty's saving a little bit of time on John there with that spring ball DBJ.
Yeah, and his health is going to be fine, so he's not going to have to worry about the farm quite as much. And he gets the Force Super, that's good. With late Brinstar, you don't have it. With early Brinstar, you don't have quite as many opportunities to get the super missile as you'd like. So.
Oh, Scotty accidentally shine sparking there. He meant to go for the money spark. That was a decent cocoon fight there for John.
Note when he enters Ridley, by the way. I can't tell right now.
Okay. So John is entering Ridley at 23:42. Scotty needs to enter at 25:42 or better to be in the lead.
I definitely think Scotty is. It's hard to say because he had some bad spots, but I think he's going to be saving time over John here.
Yeah, he's definitely caught up. He's definitely caught up in Norfair with all the mistakes that John's had in lower Norfair. So I still think the race is very close.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Given that Scotty's had some early game issues where John's had some mid game issues.
This area is going to be really volatile too. You can make any mistake you make can be 10 or more seconds lost. So.
John getting the Imago spark. And gets lucky with the super drops. Oh, very lucky with the super drops. As Scotty now makes his way into the cocoon fight.
Very, very nice cocoon fight for Scotty. One small mistake, but that's...
All right, so now both runners are officially into Ridley. Ridley is one of those areas where a slight mistake can cost you a huge amount of time. And
looks like
slight,
Scotty's...
I mean like 4 frames.
Yeah, it's really important to not make those small mistakes. Looks like Scotty did gain the lead in Norfair, by the way.
Okay. Got a clean B fight for Scotty. As John makes his way into the second puzzle room. Nice diagonal there.
Oh, all right. So somebody pointed out that John grabbed a missile that Scotty didn't. So it is actually exactly even, basically.
Oh, which missile is this?
You grab a missile. Okay, you know, to the right of high jump.
Okay, yep. All right, this room John is in right now can be very tense, and he gets it first try. The game developers intended for you to do that speed jump. Oh, Scotty misses the clip. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's gonna lose a little bit of time here. Just a little bit to the left, he wasn't able to clip all the way through. All right, so there should be no issue for John at this point. He does have enough supers. It looks like it's going to be an 8 super Ridley fight.
We'll see. It'll be a... Yeah, we usually see after these side hoppers because
Right.
they have a good chance of dropping supers. Yeah, this puzzle room is the last thing John could really mess up, and he's known to mess it up a few times. So looks like Scotty's Ridley area has been smooth. Scotty has. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, minus the one mistake that Scotty had, clipping through the floor.
Oh my god!
He gets the backup. Very nice.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was gonna say that Scotty's movement in Ridley is usually better than John's, like very, very slightly, but he's been making more big mistakes. So.
Yeah, I would say that John wins the race in Ridley here.
Yeah, so do I. Scotty's super missile count is also not perfect, so that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, he's gonna have to hope for super missiles from the side hoppers. John with unfortunate bad luck on the super drops there from Ridley. Is he one of those never farm speedway kind of guys?
He'll farm at 0. It's pretty stupid not to, if I'm being honest.
I mean, if you're gonna, and he only gets one drop, he must be really upset.
Yeah, he must be seething. My pronunciation skills, dude.
So if you're the type of person who says never farm a speedway, I think I'm gonna have to make fun of you for actually farming speedway, no matter what the situation is.
I mean, the only person who says never farm speedway is Eagle, and I have a clip of him saying always farm speedway. So
Luckily, John gets all 3 supers from the Owls, which have a about 70 to 75% chance of dropping supers. Where Scotty's super here situation is not looking really good. 6 supers will be a longer Ridley fight for Scotty.
but he has 666. So
if only his health was 66, but it's not.
yeah.
Nice fight for Scotty. Now John is on his way to Brinstar to clean up the remaining items that Scotty had already picked up early on, with the exception of Brinstar's super. John will be doing all of that right now. Scotty gets lucky with his drops there. He gets 2. That warrants a speedway skip for sure.
You could farm it with 4, but you don't need to. It's one of those 50-50 things with a late Brinstar, early Brinstar rather.
Yep, and he does go for the skip. Scotty having some trouble with his wall jump there, dropping back down, but he manages to recover. And a very lucky super drop from that blue orb. John showing off exceptional platforming skills. No. What is it called? Perfect platforming, as he would call it.
That's what he'd call it. I think John's missile count is going to be nicer than Scotty's, so, and Torian.
I agree. I also think that John is in the lead here.
Yeah, it'll be nice because they will be synced up for a bit later.
So the lead is shifted now. Second time it's shifted.
Honestly, I think John's been in the lead the whole time, hasn't he?
No. When they entered Ridley, Scotty was in the lead, I think.
No, because
ever so slightly.
We had forgotten about the missile tank. That
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It could have been tied at that point then.
Yeah.
But after Ridley, John has definitely gained some ground over Scotty, with basically no mistakes at all on John's side, whereas Scotty had a few.
No, it must be said, though, that this has been a really close and good race so far. Absolutely. We don't have many of those.
If you're just joining us, this could be a preview of the tournament finals. Number 1 seed CScottyW versus number 2 seed John Unfil, playing in the Swiss format stage of this tournament. So as you can see there, John ever so slightly in the lead. Less than 1 room away from each other.
So we'll see what time they both entered Torian at, and we have to add 7 seconds to Scotty's time.
It's worth noting here that Scotty has one extra super than John from a lucky drop. Typically, you would enter Turian with 11 supers, having to use one super on your way out of Upper Brinstar. But since you've already cleaned Upper Brinstar in early Brinstar, Scotty has the advantage of one extra super.
Yep. So looks like John is 9 seconds ahead of Scotty right now.
Okay. That could easily turn into Scotty's favor here in Turian. Turian can be rough at times.
Yeah, this is a complete RNG fest, and if you can get grabbed, well, you've just lost a ton of time too.
Scotty opting to use... Oh, okay, he used regular missiles on the first one while he was waiting for the second one, which is a pretty good optimization strat.
That was a cute strat, ledge grab strat by John.
Both runners, actually John here with... Okay, both runners entering the third room with exactly the same amount of supers. Now, Scotty could be a little spicy here and decide to use an extra super and catch up a little bit. And if he uses one, he'll most definitely have to use the other.
Looks like they're both getting roughly even luck. I think John's spawn RNG has been better, though.
Oh, John now is getting more supers.
Oh, wow, that's super luck, man.
Yeah, oh wow. Very, very nice Metroid rooms there for John. And he does get that RNG favor, entering the Mother Brain room with 6 supers, which I expect he'll use against Mother Brain's glass.
66 and 6 before Mother Brain.
Yeah, what's up with all these 6s? Oh, John taking a dip. That's not good.
He took a double dip.
Alright, John will be the first to defeat Mother Brain.
Because of that double dip, it looks like they are both going to be very, very close exiting Turian.
Now Scotty is... Oh, John misses the ledge grab here, and Scotty will take the lead.
Yeah, Scotty known to have a more clean escape, really.
Yeah, Scotty is... I think Scotty is the fastest escape player in the community. John with more mistakes in escape, which is kind of uncharacteristic. Usually escape is one of the easier things to do, more consistent things to do for runners.
So with that, I think they are going to be very roughly even. John, of course, does have a small advantage later on, but this is neck and neck, guys.
Now the big question, who is going to refill?
They're both going to skip the heal.
I mean, they could agree in chat to both heal and keep the same pace.
I know for a fact that John is going to skip the heal. We are going to have some excitement. So, Ross, tell them how many hits it takes to die in this split on...
Just one.
That's damn right.
One small mistake can end the run. In such a race close between the first and second seed, do these runners have the nerves of steel to traverse through the spaceship flawlessly? Find out here soon. Scotty now the first to enter suitless, John right behind him. This will be a very, very tense suitless section. Scotty here known to pick up this map. However, he has proclaimed that he knows how to skip it, and he does. John almost grabs the map, just a few pixels away from grabbing that map, and he gets through cleanly. Scotty,
Oh my
with a
God,
small
Scotty.
mistake with that pirate here. This could cost John or Scotty the lead. The game
Yeah,
will
it's
open
definitely
immediately
gonna
for
cost
John.
the lead.
So the lead has changed once again.
Yeah, that was really scary. Scotty could have easily died there.
Oh, Scotty going for the new strats here. Very nicely executed. Not enough to catch up to John, but it does help. This is all execution here as John enters the fast searchlights room. John going for the lightning fast strat. Let's see if he can get it. And he does. Scotty as well. Oh no! Scotty hit the alarm. Oh, no. So more setbacks here for Scotty as John breezes through.
And he doesn't know the proper backup, so he's going to lose even more time. Wow.
Scotty got tagged at the very last moment there. John John almost gets body slammed by that pirate as he drops a wall jump. Fortunately, was able to make a recovery. That could have ended his run.
Yeah, this is really spicy.
As the music sets the tone here for this very, very, very interesting part of the run. John now enters Chozodia. Scotty right behind him.
Looks like John is going to get the Ross strat very easily.
Okay. I didn't want them to name the strat after me, but I mean, I have more strats that I think are better suited for my name, but for some reason the community decided to use my name for this strat.
Yeah, pretty weird, isn't it?
John executing very well. Aside from the one missed wall jump here, John has had a perfect suitless section so far.
Scotty with still with a bunch of really small mistakes, probably emulator related if I had to guess.
Now this part, as you mentioned, the emulator, this part can be very scary for Scotty. He'll need to execute very well or risk dying here. And he does. Very nice.
Yeah, so that's the last of the big block clinchers, but then there is Charlie, who has ended runs, but it's pretty rare, so we're probably out of the way.
Oh, for those of you who don't know us, the one who's speaking right now, me, I am Sam the Digital, and with me is Rossi123.
Yeah, I am Rossi123.
John will be the first one into Charlie. Again, another RNG heavy boss here, which could help Scotty save some time. Both runners are at 99 health. They are allowed 1 damage boost. But will they use it?
So I think John is going to avoid using it, or at least that's what he was telling me before the race. I think Scotty likes to avoid it also, so. And this boss is complete RNG.
So John not having the best first round, but it is still pretty fast. Scotty, okay, it looks like we're about the same on the first round. John waiting very long for that second round. This could be Scotty's chance to catch up. Scotty also waiting very long for the second round. So far, so good for both runners as they have about the same amount of time. Scotty with a very long third round actually manages to get that last hit, and John with a perfect 4 round. Both runners not using that extra hit to speed up the fight. John gets the glitch, very nicely done for both runners. I would say no time lost or gained between the two.
Maybe a slight amount of time saved for Scotty, but I'm not sure. It's hard to say. That fight for John was really slow.
It was very slow.
So now they're on their way to power bombs. Not a lot is going to happen on the way here, but they are going to deviate routes again. So it will be hard to see who's in the lead again.
Yeah, take note of the ammo difference here. Scotty is missing that one missile tank to the right of the high jump room that he'll need to pick up later, which will save John some time.
Coming up is a pretty difficult Shine Spark trick. Hopefully that none of them mess it up because it is huge. I think it's the single worst trick to fail in the game, if I'm not mistaken.
And John executes very well. Scotty just behind him. Both runners getting the long Shine Spark chain cleanly.
Looks like a few more small movement errors by Scotty. You know, I really wasn't expecting this. I was expecting Scotty to have a much cleaner and a much cleaner run with better platforming, but it has not been the case.
Oh, John accidentally forgetting to kill that one pirate, costing him a speed booster. Scotty can get that speed booster and catch up here a little bit. Yeah, Scotty is known for his almost perfect platforming everywhere that he goes, minimizing the amount of time he's spent in air, also minimizing the amount of time he spent on the ground when he needs to platform, which makes him a very fast runner. And obviously, being the world record holder, it says a lot about how he goes through the game.
Yeah, in this run we've seen moments of it, but it is not the same Scotty we are used to seeing.
Maybe he didn't have breakfast. I don't know. I mean,
I'll chalk it up to emulator issues. Yeah.
I don't know Scotty to be a morning kind of person. He does stream late nights. But he chose this time, so it's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's also unfortunate that he has a broken L button on his controller.
Yeah.
It's harder to replace Game Boy Advances than it is to replace DC controllers.
So, minor difference here. But to these runners, it's a pretty big difference. John has taken already 1 E-tank worth of damage, and in terms of difference, when they both get to that refill point, John is going to spend a little bit more time refilling than Scotty will, if Scotty maintains his full health here.
Yeah, John is going to be taking a hit anyway, so it's not as big of a deal as it would be, but You still do lose a little bit of time if you have, 3 tanks taken instead of a half.
Right, and that hit you mentioned will be the door clip.
Yes, which is going to come up shortly. Maybe Ross can explain it, or maybe Sam can explain it. Sorry.
So basically, the ice beam has very interesting properties where it can push you or pull you around to wherever the game thinks that you should be. And in this case, John is going to perform a very specific manipulation of the pirates here so that he can be squeezed in between the pirate and the door, making the ice beam force him through the door, as you see right there, saving him 1 power bomb that he will need for the Criteria Shine Spark chain.
Yeah, the reason to do this route is mostly for safety. You get to save a power bomb, and it opens up a completely different route, and that Shine Spark chain can be stressful, so it's nice to avoid it.
It doesn't mean that John won't be executing the Shine Spark chain. He still has to. However, he doesn't need to refresh the Shine Spark as much as he would if he was out of power bombs.
It looks like Scotty did get hit, so he's not going to have a perfect heal either. But it's still going to be faster than John's. John got hit an uncharacteristic amount of time.
Yeah, the refill mechanics are kind of interesting. The more health you're missing, the faster the refill goes until you get to the point where you're about full, and then it becomes a 1 health per frame refill.
If you guys are curious, by the way, I think the difference between these 2 routes is 1:15 seconds. But it's not so easy to keep track anymore, honestly. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, they sort of kind of blended into each other. It's really hard to tell, especially with the skill level increasing in the community. Scotty gets the glass tube. Very nicely done.
So, oh, nice. Weird, stupid frozen enemy hitboxes on Scotty. So, let's see if Scotty wins the lottery here.
Oh, Scotty skips one of the gamers. No lottery today.
No lottery today, and he had bad movement through that room, so that was unfortunate too. So not winning the lottery means John's route is going to pay off a little bit. It means that the routes are pretty even. If Scotty had won the lottery, he would have saved like 3 seconds, I think it is. Something like that. Oh, that was a really low spark on Scotty's end. He almost bombed.
I thought it was going to hit the platform. John's turn for the glass tube. Looks really good. Scotty going for the fastening lead, yeah. And he gets it.
John also having trouble with that room. Enemies are stupid. Those enemies like shoot out their eyes when you kill them, and it can hit you.
So now it appears that Scotty is ahead. However, John had already cleaned up the lower part of the spaceship, where Scotty will have to come back to it later. So again, the route will reconverge at the very end of the game. John with a longer space boost than Scotty because he has all the power bombs that he needs not to do the annoying Mingli strat here. Scotty getting that missile tank to the left of the shaft with no problems. That's another one of those item pickups that can cost you a ton of time if you don't break through all the speed booster blocks.
And if you're newer to the game, don't hold forwards during that space boost. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, the game already forces you to move left or right when you're spin jumping, so you don't have to hold left or right.
And if you do, you just risk grabbing ledges because of stupid game mechanics.
Yeah.
I'm sure this has happened to everybody before they were given that piece of advice, so.
And it looks good on John's side. So potential run race ender, I guess, is mitigated there by John as he gets it first try. As Scotty now cleans up the rest of crate, John will be following.
Yeah, this is going to all depend on each player's individual movement. This is a really close race. I think John might still be in the lead, but it's hard to tell at this point. I'll see when Scotty exits crate and to see who's in the lead now. But it's not going to be exact since I don't know the exact time save from the route.
Yeah, the door clip was found fairly recently. Well, maybe not found, but made RTA viable fairly recently. So timing the differences between traditional route and door clip route is still in the works.
AKA, it's something that I'm going to do because no one else will. I mean, if we're being honest here.
Scotty picking up early power bombs as John cleans up Brinstar. Does he get standing spark? Oh, he won't do it. Okay. No unnecessary risks here for John. You'll still want to make sure his movement is crisp.
Here's another possible and run ender by Scotty here. It looks like he's going to nail it though. Norfair space boost is such a heart pounder.
I can see runners getting nervous doing Norfair space boosts and messing it up as a result.
Both of these players are really used to it.
Yeah, John especially. He's been doing it for a long time now. Has no trouble even talking while he's doing it.
Yeah. So I think the race is very even. John might have a small lead though. And he's going to get a bit of a lead by getting the missile tank, not needing the missile tank. So Scotty will need to play better than John overall if he wants to win this. It's going to be close though.
So while all the major potential time wasters are gone, there is still one left, and it's the final item of the game. Now, that can be very, very tense for the runners, especially when a race is this close. No matter how comfortable you are with it, it just makes you very worried when you're doing it, I think. As you see there, Scotty picking up that missile tank that John had already done, which will give John a little bit of time here.
Man, this race is everything I wanted it to be. This is such a good race.
John's at a. It looks like John's on a world record pace too. It's only 23 seconds in, and John had already cleaned up about 80% of the run.
Reverse north-air space crew for John. Nice.
John getting really lucky with super missile drops here. Not that he needs them. He's full up.
So getting first seed in the Swiss bracket will mean that first seed has to play fourth seed in the in brackets, right?
The 8th seed or the last seed.
Well, I mean, eventually they would play fourth seed, right? In semis.
It's possible.
Oh, no, Scotty!
That is a disaster for Scotty. He'll need to redo his Shine Spark here. That's going to cost him extra time, including a door transition. No, 2 door transitions. That is one strat that you don't want to mess up. He can still pull it off, though. We're pretty late into the run, but there is still that one final item.
Yeah, we still have one big item that we need to get.
As John now makes his way back into Criteria, he'll be doing the same thing as Scotty did, hopefully with not the same result. It looks good. All right, and John gets it. So that's going to save him some time over Scotty, if John isn't already in the lead.
He was already in the lead, I think, but this is going to give him another 10 seconds at least. That was a huge time loss by Scotty.
Yeah, it's going to give him a nice buffer for John to make slight errors here or there, but he absolutely does not want to mess up the space jumpy tank.
Yeah,
and get that first try, it will basically solidify his win here.
So, fun fact, John wanted me to tell him if he had an insurmountable lead, but I don't think it's worth telling John about this one, honestly. He's gonna have to get space jumpy tank.
Yeah, I wouldn't put any more pressure on them. It's just a close race. Both runners know how good each other are, so adding that pressure on them might not help.
Yeah, if I had told John, he could opt to do the Shine Spark.
Yeah,
but you could also fail that. So I'm gonna leave him in peace here. Nothing but John in the game and Scotty in the game. I'm not sure if he's listening to chat either. It depends on the player if you really want to know if you're ahead or not. It can be a stress reliever not to know anything.
John now picking up the last power bomb in the game. Also the most annoying power bomb in the game. And it looks like John has one more item to go.
Two more items, I think.
Is it 2? Okay.
Yeah, he still has that power bomb that Scotty just got.
Oh, well, John picked up not the last power bomb in the game. It's hard to tell now with all these route changes which items they picked up or not, unless you're really paying attention.
Yeah, it is really difficult. Can't blame you, Ross.
For those who are not aware, Zero Mission has gone through many changes in its life. With the current, I guess, era now still kind of shapeless, as the runners are trying to decide which routes are better.
Yeah, one of the fun things about Zero Mission is that so many routes are so similar as far as speed goes. So it makes it interesting. So you can basically pick and choose your own route.
All right, now John is on his way to Space Jumpy Tank as Scotty cleans up lower half of Spaceship. I think it really will come down to Space Jumpy Tank, and if John can execute and get it first try, he'll definitely be in the lead.
Looks like John has a bigger lead than I thought he did. That's a pretty significant lead, honestly. He might even be able to... I was going to say he might even be able to miss Space Jumpy Tank once, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't want him to, but if he does have that buffer, then it's good on him. It's less pressure if he's watching. But that shine spark that Scotty missed in Criteria definitely set him back there. That was a huge mistake. Very nice space jump there from John, getting into that one tile gap seamlessly, making it look easy.
All right, here it is. And John's got it. Nice. So it looks like John's going to win this race.
We have seen stranger things in tournaments, though. The escape spark could give John some trouble.
It could, yeah. I think he still has the leeway to miss it, though.
And Scotty also getting Space Jumpy Tank first try. But unfortunately for Scotty, it's too little and too late. Barring any disasters from John, he is going to take the win here. Nice.
That was a sick fight.
Yeah, and 7 supers to spare, so that Workbot will scoot along a little bit faster. Looking like a 109 pace, maybe. Scotty's missile super output is a little bit slower than John's, if you haven't noticed. It could be the emulator.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to ask Scotty if he goes up for interview.
Very comfortably within the 109 pace here for John, if he can get this first try. It's a good setup. Good spark. And good ball spark.
Is this going to be a 109 on John's end?
It's close. It can be a 109. It's very close. It all depends on the Black Pirates here. Okay, he gets them both.
It's a 109. Nice job, John.
GG. Congratulations to John Unfull Number 2 seed finishing first against number 1 seed CScottyW with an official SRL time of 109.54. I don't know if that's a PB or not for John.
No, it's not a PB, but it is definitely better than what he's been getting, so he's going to be really happy with that.
And we have Scotty now with the Black Pirates. Very, very fast Black Pirates.
Yeah, beautiful Black Pirates. That setup is so cool to see.
And Scotty finishes with an official SRL time of 1:10.29, and later changed to 1:10.45 due to dot undone from Scotty. But I don't think it matters.
So this is going to give John first seed for brackets. That was a really good race, though. It was really close right up until Scotty messed that trick up.
Definitely an exciting race, start to finish. Both runners executing very well, but it looks like John Unful has emerged the winner between the two giants of this video game.
So I wonder if we're going to get any of the two for commentary. That'd be pretty cool. I really want to talk to Scotty about emulator issues, if he had any, because it seemed to me that that was his main issue.
All right, we asked them if they're in for an interview. Let's see if we can get them in here.
Looks like John's coming.
And we have John Unfil now joining us. The winner.
Yeah, I know, right?
How do you feel about this run?
Of winning, right?
Well, I mean, I was not counting on Scotty playing on emulator, which he's not used to doing.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask. Are a lot of those weird mistakes you made because of emulator, Scott?
Yeah, a ton of those were input lag stuff where I'm just kind of jumping around and not hitting any platforms.
Yeah, it looked really rough on that because the race was really, really close, though, right up until you messed up the ball spark near the
Yeah, that was really stupid.
But otherwise, it was a really, really good race. You were neck and neck at just about everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, were we? Yeah, I mean, I was on phenomenal pace through Kraid.
Yeah, you had a really good run.
Yeah, my start was fantastic, and then Criteria and Norfair happened.
Yeah, that Norfair.
Those were just that Norfair. It must have been an entertaining watch, but
that was
that
was heart stopping. That we were on the edge of our seats.
We were
on the edge of our seats.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Chisodium Suitless made us pretty worried too, honestly.
Yeah, there were a couple moments in Suitless where I was kind of like, but oh man, that was a pretty stressful run in a lot of places.
So let's talk about a bit of seating, if you guys don't mind. So I think, Scotty, if things continue in brackets, you're going to face Destructor, assuming you win most of your other matches, in your winners semis. Are you more worried than if you would have to face Pulsemore?
No.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
It is.
No, I already went against Destructor once and it went all right.
Okay, so basically, he's easy. Chump change. And if everything goes according to plan, you play against Pulsemore, John. How do you feel about that?
Fine. I mean,
All right.
I play the game, and that's really all I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think this win is a sign of things to come, John?
I mean, that's the best I've been playing in quite a long time. So I gotta feel pretty good coming off that. Like even regardless of winning, which I'm not gonna lie, like it doesn't really feel like a win because Scotty was not playing on the setup he normally uses. But like I am always happy putting up 109s in a race.
For sure.
So I have one more question for Scotty here. When is new SP?
I ordered one a couple days ago, so it should be getting in soon.
All right. I'll leave the rest to Ross then.
Okay, yeah. So we throughout the race we were talking about how this has a potential to be a finals preview in the tournament. Now that the dust is settled and the winner came out, what do you think about the outcome here and how it might maybe predict the finals?
I mean, I don't know that it really does, honestly. Like, I don't think anything on Scotty's side is a good predictor just because of him playing on emulator. And I mean, on my side, like, I don't know. I haven't really had the consistency lately, but we'll see. I mean, this feels pretty good to get, so we'll see if I can keep it up in future races.
Okay. Scotty?
Yeah, I more or less agree with that. Hopefully, either if I don't get a new SP, I'll have more practice on emulator. And if I do, I'll be back to what I was before.
So, considering your performance on emulator here, do you think that even if you do get a good and working SP, do you think that you will spend a little more time practicing on emulator in case it does go bad on you during a run, or
I
before
don't
finals?
think so. I will have trust that my SP is going to work because I don't want to play on emulator anymore.
Okay, make sure that warranty is up to date. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah, it was a really good race, very entertaining, for sure. Unless you guys have any other comments, I think we're done here.
That's it for me.
I got nothing else to say.
All right, thank you both to the runners, and congratulations to John Unfull winning the race against CScottyW.
And thanks for commentating with me, Sam.
Yeah, no problem, Ross. Definitely do it again. Absolutely enjoy commentating with you.
Same here.
And with that, we are finished. Thank you to Speed Gaming for restreaming this, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night, everybody.